Building with Bimmy, written by Lil Bimmy. Introduction. Who the fuck is Lil Bimmy? Well, my real name is Spencer Fulton. I'm a 26-year-old musician. I grew up in small towns all over Minnesota. I bounced around a lot as a child, but I went to Princeton High School and stayed there at the age of 14. I didn't have the best household to be in. There wasn't much love. There was a lot of abuse physically and verbally. My parents instilled a lot of insecurities in me and depleted my confidence. I remember one time my parents took all of my favorite clothes and left me with my shitty ones and ones I didn't like as a form of punishment. And transferring that to my adult life and my subconscious habits, it truly fucked me up. I couldn't hold any relationships because I thought everyone hated me and everyone was out to get me and attack me after getting to know me. I had no trust in anything, including myself, because I had no confidence or self-esteem. This also sent me down a path of meth, heroin, and prescription pill addiction for 8 years, cycling through them all, whatever was available. I've died and survived multiple times in my life. A couple overdoses and a couple bad seizures when I was young due to my epilepsy. Yes, I have epilepsy if you didn't know that. There's a lot of odds and a lot of trauma I've overcome in my life, and I have the strength to finally share a part of myself and the things I've learned. This book is short and sweet, but that's how I wanted it, to show that something so small can be so impactful. I want to be a voice in whoever's ears need this. When you feel like you got nobody, remember that you got me, and you'll always have someone that's trying to grow just like you. Welcome to Building with Bimmy. Chapter 1. Belief. I'm assuming if you are listening to this book, you have a dream or purpose you feel you have to fulfill. As many of you know, some may not, my purpose to fulfill is being a voice. Whether that be through the music I make or the things that I speak. I've always had this feeling in my heart that I'm just destined for greatness and that I'm supposed to share my heart with the world. That feeling inside of me caused the belief that I can make a difference, even if I am just one person. The world around me constantly tried to break me down, but when something feels right inside of you, that is your spirit and God or the universe speaking to you. That is your purpose, and nobody can take that from you, and you will never be able to run from it. So the first step into your purpose is belief. No matter what this world says or throws at you, remember what you are. Be who you are, even if you're not there yet. Have people think you're delusional because you're so embraced in your purpose before it happens. When everyone around you thinks you're crazy, you're doing something right. When you believe in yourself wholeheartedly and what you're doing is for the greater good, everyone around you will start to question, but don't worry. That's just your God testing you and your belief in yourself. Let your belief in whatever you're doing be so loud it pushes all the party poopers out and party goers in. Those party goers you find will love your noise and support it and believe it more than you do sometimes. Your belief in yourself will lead all the people you've grown with in comfort and bring you all the people you need to grow into the best version of yourself. So, once you realize your purpose, embrace the delusional belief, and let go of what doesn't serve your higher good, you must get ready for the journey and building the never-ending castle that will be your perfect, unfinished dynasty. Chapter 2. Lay a brick a day. Now that we've established needing to have wholehearted belief, it's time to start laying the bricks of your castle. So you found your purpose, figured out what you want to do, but it seems like there's so much in front of you that you're anxious and almost don't know where to begin. That is okay. It is completely normal to feel overwhelmed at first when stepping into your purpose and laying your first brick. It's a lot of unknown and uncertainty, but that's where all your truth and desires are. So just know it's nothing to be scared of. I know I was terrified for a long time before truly stepping into who I am. I was scared to let go of everything I thought I was. It was my comfort. But when I stripped myself and got naked, I was finally able to lay my first brick. You gotta realize this is no race whatsoever. This is a journey, a marathon, a never-ending staircase. So, with that being said, your journey begins now. You have everything you need to lay that first brick, to do one thing today to be the better version of you. It doesn't have to be anything extravagant or huge either. Anything you do that you didn't want to do is working against the devil and is therefore working towards your greater good. I don't want to go to the gym every day, but I do it because I know it's great for my mental and physical health. Even if I don't do anything else for the day, I still laid one brick towards being a better me. I took care of me and made me a priority for part of my day. That is laying a brick on your foundation. Now imagine if you push yourself every day to do one thing you need to do but didn't want to do. That's being 1% better every day. In 1 year, you'd be 365% better. Don't ever underestimate the power of laying a brick a day because your purpose is supposed to have longevity, not shine bright and burn out right away. So take time each day to lay one brick for your castle, and you will soon find yourself laying 5 to 10 bricks a day. Hell, maybe even more. The power is inside you, and you hold everything you need to get started. So choose your brick today and lay that motherfucker. Chapter 3: Gratitude. I remember when I used to think, when I get this or when I get that, then I'll be happy, then I'll be able to make it. This perception of thinking causes you to automatically push things off. You're putting your hands in future materials you don't have yet. What you don't realize is that you have everything you need already. What you have now is what's going to get you what you want in the future. You can't have everything at one time. You have to work for it, step by step. It's about the journey. There is no destination when you truly love what you do. You fall in love with the act and process of it. So look around and ask yourself, what can I do to take the first step towards my dream? Because that first step is around you and the answer is in your heart. You just have to have gratitude for the situation you're in. Even if it isn't ideal, I've gone up and down couch hopping and staying where I can since I was 18 and never had a true place to call home my whole life. I moved around a lot, but I've met so many people who love me and care about me along the way. Even if it isn't forever, I'm grateful while I have it and appreciate every single thing someone does for me. If something goes wrong or it doesn't feel right, I listen and move on to the next chapter. I trust myself and my God that I will always be guided in the right direction. So be grateful for what you have, because in every situation, whether it be good or bad, there is something to be grateful for. You can't have bad without good in it. So look in your heart, look around you, and say something you're grateful for. Whether it be the food you have, the phone you use every day, or the favorite blanket you use on movie night, or my favorite, simply just breathing. Every day is a gift, and that's something to always be grateful for. You're here for a reason and purpose. Now it's up to you to look inside, find that gratitude for the first step, and embrace your purpose with wholehearted belief and assumption. Chapter 4: Assumption. Remember when you were a kid and you play house and you'd be so embraced in it that you actually believed you were a chef for that time, or your friend was the house dog, or that you were husband and wife with someone? We as children assumed we were that of what we said we were, embraced the role and feeling of it, and acted as so. That exact same thing is the key to manifestation. Envisioning you are what you want to be, embracing that feeling of it, and then acting on it as if you are. This ties into the first chapter of belief, but this is the real detail and key to make everything come to reality brighter and more fluidly. You may not be everything you want to be in the physical world, but the person you dream to be already exists inside of you. You already are everything you desire to be. Do me a favor and close your eyes. For real, close your eyes, come on. Alright, now I want you to envision what kind of shoes you'd be wearing. How do they feel? Can you wiggle your toes in them? Now what kind of pants and shirt? Make sure you're rocking what you want. Any jewelry, a necklace around your neck and down your chest. Now envision what dream car you want. How's it feel rolling with the windows down and the music blaring? Pretty awesome and freeing, right? That feeling you submerge yourself inside of your imagination is the key. Assuming the feeling you already are and already have. You know inside what is, so now you have to assume that feeling as much as possible and bring it to the real world and reality. Let your inner reflect outward, not the other way around, because you already are everything you want to be. Chapter 5: Validate yourself. Oh, validation. Growing up and into my early adult years, I based my success off the approval of others and making them happy. Doing everything I can to please everyone and keep them happy, but I realized something. That means I have no regard to myself or any boundaries. I wondered why I'd break down and lash out. It was because I was so caught in trying to get validation from my parents and family because I felt they were never proud of me. Fuck validation from other people. Validate yourself. This isn't anyone's life but yours, and sometimes the family we are born with is not our true family. Your family is the people who love and care for you for the person you are and choose to become. You are allowed to effortlessly be yourself, and if anyone tries to make you feel different, then they aren't supposed to be in your life. If you desire to live the life you want, then you have to leave the life you have. You cannot grow in comfort, so change that inner world and validate yourself off your own idea of success. Chapter 2, lay a brick a day. The things you do will not be huge or look like success to others until the world catches on. But this is about longevity, so fuck their opinion. Validate yourself. I remember when I first started making music and doing shows, my ego got blasted out of this world. I didn't even realize it either at the time, but looking back at it now, the first few years of my career was ruled by other people's opinions and wanting to please them. And this is not the drive you should have for your music or life in general. It ever so slowly destroyed me. I kept taking so many opinions from people and trying to apply it. I got lost in it all and almost just gave up on making music altogether. I had to remember why I started this, to put my heart into a fucking microphone and just make a song. It was that moment I realized I needed to not give a fuck what other people thought or their opinions and just make music again, for me. When I did that, I found the love in it again. It was like when I first got my license and had that huge sense of freedom. The world was my oyster at this point. You see, when you let go of the toxic habits, comfort, and people in your life, it makes more room for blessings and gratitude to come in. Then, from that, you gain a sense of empowerment. This empowerment is called confidence and validating yourself. Fuck their validation. Chapter 6, fuck the highs, embrace the lows. This chapter is honestly one of my favorites, and I'm going to explain it through a story of part of my life, so bear with me, this is a long one. Around spring of 2021, I got my heart completely shattered. It was a very hard time in my life, and I had two choices: choose to repress through addiction like usual, or do what I can to actually heal myself. This time, I chose to heal myself. I stayed sober and felt through all of my heartbreak. I fully embraced it all and put it into my form of expression, writing and music. I also dropped my whole brand, Gutter Kids Entertainment, and started Divinely Crafted. When I changed the brand, I felt a change in me. I felt a sense of gratitude and love I've never experienced, and this time it was by myself and own doing. So just like I said last chapter, to live the life you want, you have to leave the life you have. I put out the first song under Divinely Crafted, and it was called Goodbye. It was a goodbye to my ex and the life I'll never get back. Soon after this, I played a show up in Bemidji, Minnesota, which was about 5 hours away from me. I opened up for this artist out of St. Louis named Zeus Rebel Waters. The venue was literally a hard knocks type school. We had the show in the gym area. But when my set came up, I gave it everything I could like usual and left it all on the stage. After I hop off, Zeus congratulates me and calls me a superstar and thought I gave an amazing set. Then, Zeus's promoter and booking agent comes up to me and says he wants me to come out to LA to do a show with Zeus. Going to LA to perform and getting a glimpse of the real music world is almost every up-and-coming artist's dream. And it was just offered to me. I didn't even think twice. Of course I said yes. I was on top of the world going home to tell all my friends about this. Then a few days later, I saw on my timeline that 3 of my favorite artists were going on tour together. Chris Webby's tour with Echo and Dizzy Wright. I took a shot in the dark and went to the event page, found the promoter's email, and sent him an email asking if there was opening slots. He got back like the next day and said there was an opening slot in Milwaukee, Wisconsin at Miramar Theater. It was a $1,000 buy-on, but I didn't give a single fuck. I needed that experience, so I made it happen. I made all of it happen. LA and performing in my dream city, to opening for 3 of my favorite artists and having real genuine conversations with them. I was at the high of my life at this point, but when nobody knew, I was mentally at my lowest. Over the next couple months, I rolled out my debut album and had my own show for it. What could be wrong? Everything around me was great, but I had an addiction to escaping. Always drunk, always high, and looking to be anywhere but here. I wasn't present for any of my highest moments, so the day after my album dropped, I made the choice to quit drinking and all the drugs. This was January 15th, 2022. It was the hardest thing I had to do, and I went through withdrawals for almost 6 months. But to this day, I'm still sober and in the greatest shape of my life physically and mentally. The low moments I had in that heartbreak and then waking up on January 15th and looking in the mirror, I was absolutely disgusted with myself. But those moments saved my life to this day. Fuck the highs, embrace the lows. Chapter 7. Who cares? Just do it. If you haven't found out in life, shit don't happen unless you make it happen. You have to take action in order for your manifestations to come to life, step by step and goal by goal. But ultimately, people don't do fucking anything. All because they don't feel like it. The world doesn't give a fuck how we feel, and you shouldn't give a fuck how you feel either. I'm not saying to repress your emotions, but when you wake up and you got shit to do, but your mind is telling you to push it off and that you're not in the mood, that is when you need to say, fuck how I'm feeling. You gain so much empowerment through doing something that you don't want to do. You feel accomplished, confident, and ready to tackle more. This is why we can't wait for motivation to come to us. That rarely happens. Take action in what you want to do, feel the inspiration come, and watch the motivation flow out of you. When I haven't made a song in a while, I make myself sit down, stay present with a beat, and feel as deep as I can in that moment. And 95% of the time when I place myself in that moment, even though I didn't want to and took action to make a song, it came. And comes every time because inspiration and motivation are followed after action. So quit caring so much about what you feel and how other people will feel. You got nothing to lose and everything to gain. Just fucking do it. Chapter 8. Both feet forward. Have you ever heard of the term put your best foot forward? To me, it's some of the worst advice I've ever received. Being told to have one foot in my dream and one foot in reality, but in order to gain a new reality, you have to have both feet forward and leave the reality you have now behind. You have to choose to be whatever it is you aspire to be and go after it every second you can. If you love it, it will be effortless. Fuck how everyone else feels. This isn't about them, it's about you and the life you choose. Most people around you won't get the both feet forward method because they simply don't understand. And that is okay. This vision you have of life is your vision. You can't expect other people to fully understand because it's yours. Being misunderstood for choosing a different life is truly beautiful because it shows you are being authentic and truly yourself. Be a goat in a world full of sheep. And I know it may be hard to let go of your old life, but how you let it go is through this expression you're choosing. Release it out in the world and share your story, and soon enough you're going to be the author of your own world. What you speak and believe will come to life. All you have to do is put both feet forward. Chapter 9. Patience. Patience is a virtue. It's something everyone should learn to develop. The reason we don't is because we want, but when you want things so bad, you're only thinking about what you don't have, therefore pushing it further and further away from you. For example, I wanted and needed my license for so long and didn't get it until I was 25. Sure, I wasn't dealt the best cards in life, but my want for it and complaining about how I don't have it pushed it so much further off. I never knew why nobody would help me get it, but a month after I got sober, I got a helping hand and was blessed with my license. And when I got it, it could not have felt like a more perfect time. I wouldn't have been nearly as grateful or appreciative of having it. I probably would have fucked off and got a dually and my license taken. It all made sense as soon as I got it. That was a big realization that patience is truly important. God gives everything when we need it, not want it. The best thing we can do is what we love, every day. Not for any ulterior motives, but because it's what we do. And with that, you'll find yourself in love with your process and progress, and that'll create all the patience and fulfillment you need, because you'll be stuck on the journey. I mean, that is what this is all about, right? So let's enjoy it and build together. Love. Outro. Yo, thank you, you beautiful motherfuckers, for listening to this book. Gosh, fucking darn it. Oh, man, I can't believe I actually wrote this shit. For those of you who actually listen through to this and continue to listen to this and gain inspiration from this, I just want to say thank you for listening and thank you for giving my voice a chance. And I hope that I can be a light for you whenever the fuck that you need it. And I thank you for always being my light, because if it weren't for you guys, I wouldn't have anything. I wouldn't be me. I wouldn't have this inspiration, this drive that I have, and this mentality of you know, I can be the greatest version of myself, and that version that version can save the world, or at least he feels like he can, and you guys make that possible. And so this is my heart and my mind and a big piece of my soul that is now out for you guys to hear. So I hope you enjoy this as much as I enjoyed making it, cause um, I want to do this again. So yeah, I thank you guys again for listening, and maybe I'll make a building with Bimmy too. I guess we'll see in the future. But until then, I appreciate you guys. I love you guys, and see you in the next.